everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to more Sonic 4 Episode 1 for the Nintendo Wii. Remember the playthrough is also going to be available on g2pl.com. Mud Gear Zone. Generic factory area, of course. You will clearly tell that this is basically a combination between the Scrap Brain Zone from Sonic 1 and the Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2. Generally, I mean, yeah, this probably is the best representation of a remake of previous zones of previous Sonic games. But still, this area actually got some interesting parts, some interesting traps and obstacles to deal with. And the music is pretty cool, actually. It's one of my favorite themes of the whole game, actually. These steam thingies are quite distracting. Not really terrible. Remember, they appear in the Metropolis Zone. Not as much as now, of course. Yeah, the good thing about this area in particular is that they give you a lot of checkpoints, so it becomes a lot easier. But I would dare to say, actually, that this area is kind of easier than the previous one, the previous zone. I'm not really expecting a difficulty boost or anything, but yeah, it's rather simple, in my opinion. Timing bullshit, because you're gonna get squished if we are not quick enough. Well, I fucked up the jump anyway, but I survived. Another checkpoint. Speaking of generosity, again, timing bullshit. Well, by now I know that I didn't get the emeralds. I'm aware of that, and I guess in the last 30 seconds I have gotten like 3 checkpoints. No fucking kidding. I told you about this game's generosity, right? Well, there you go. That confirms it. So yeah, not getting the emeralds. I told you that I would try, but I wasn't going to promise anything. I could try to get the emeralds on my own time, practice the bonus stages. And if I feel like showing it, of course, on the video, I will, but Super Sonic here is completely optional. I think the only game so far that I actually needed to get all the emeralds, and I've been capable of doing so, is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because it gives you an extra level, which requires Super Sonic or Hyper Sonic, depends. I don't usually go for Hyper. And you can get the extra or the actual ending for getting at least the initial 7 emeralds. So yeah, first level, first act was rather simple. And we're dealing with the Cog Traps. Remember, the cogs appeared, got featured in the first Sonic game. Well, not as much as now, of course. They're gonna give a different touch, not just decoration things that appear on the level. Alright, probably this is one of the innovative ideas for this level. You have to make the cog move by running to the opposite direction. Alright, that was super slow. And also you have to move the cog by yourself as a sort of switch that opens certain doors. You will see an example of that later. Well, here it is again, but now I have to deal with an extra enemy, so it would be preferable to get rid of the enemy first, and if I trap, so I have to go back up there. Well, there is a spring, so no big deal. Can just keep going. Okay, this is how. That works like a sort of switch that opens certain doors. It's gonna become a little bit tougher later on. Okay, right now I just have to move and don't stop moving. I think I have to move it to the other side. There you go. And avoid the attacks from these enemies, which, if you remember, these are the stars that appear in Metropolis Zone that explode and divide their spikes into 5 different parts. Quite annoying. Well, it has been such a simple level that I haven't even lost my rings and still keep my shield from almost the beginning of the level. No, spin dash won't work, so just have to run in the regular manner. Alright, now I open another door, but you have to hurry up. Making a couple of jumps. I didn't make it on time, but you get the idea, so I have to do it again. Now the gear is going back to the initial position. Oh yeah, you have to do this again. It's not complicated, at least I got rid of the enemy that was on the way. That crab thingy. I didn't want to attack it. I didn't dare. I was afraid of losing all of my rings, you know. Alright, this part's a little complex, I don't know. You have to move the cog, but at the same time I want to avoid the attacks from these enemies, and that was weird. I totally wanted to avoid those blades or whatever they are, but there was another pair coming from the top and that fucked me up. Anyway, I'm gonna go up. Don't stop. Well, actually I was too worried and I ended up dying. Well, the checkpoint is right there, right next to the spring. Yeah, I was too afraid, too scared by those blades that I decided to jump and try to kill the enemy instead of just keep going. Let me try just to move without stopping. See, I get too scared because I see the blades too close to me, so yeah, this is what I have to do from the beginning, except for that part. You need to jump there. Oh my god, those things follow you until forever. God. And that should be the end of the level. No emerald chance because at the end of the level I lost all my rings. Well, I lost a life as a matter of fact. I have still 34 lives, I mean, nothing to worry about, I think. Impending doom. Nothing so different from the previous areas except for the fact that there is something chasing you, a wall chasing you. And you have to avoid certain traps rather fast, that's it. Nothing out of ordinary, to be honest, and it's not really difficult at all. But yeah, you have to be a little faster, or else you're gonna get squished. So it's a little race against time, but No big deal, I insist. Wow, I barely saw those spikes because it's kind of a dark level. Didn't really see them well. These are little balancing platforms you have to fuck up with in order to go down. You will have to continue dealing with those at some points. Alright, that's a switch. I think that switch made the wall chasing you kind of slower. That's the impression I got. You slowed it down for a couple of seconds. I'm not being fast right now, but at least I'm avoiding the wall. That's something. Oh, there are more cogs thing? Yes, there is. Still maintains elements from the previous zone. Wow, this is so fucking slow. Took forever. Thank God there wasn't a wall chasing me or anything. Alright, now you gotta balance these things properly in order not to touch the spikes, which are on the walls, as you can tell. You don't need to be a genius anyway, as you can see. Well, I thought it was trapped, but I can do the spin dash almost like on the very wall. That's kind of strange, but convenient at the same time. Well, I missed the invisibility chance and I lost most of my rings this time. I was careless. Okay, that's the end of the level. That was a lot shorter than the previous one, as you can see. And probably a lot easier too, why not? I couldn't get the extra life this time because of the score. It wasn't enough. Not that I'm too worried about that, to be honest. And the boss. You might expect what kind of boss, you're gonna deal with, taking into account that most of the zone was based on the Metropolis zone from Sonic 2. Yeah, you have to deal with the X again. But this time it's a little bit easier. You can actually touch the X, but you cannot touch the little Robotniks instead. It's the total opposite from Sonic 2. You couldn't touch the initial X, but you could kill the little Robotniks coming from the X back then. So yeah, I just need to recover my rings, but just need to provide him as many hits as I can. Trying to avoid the little Robotniks though. That would be ideal. Well, there was no need to destroy the rest of the eggs. But there is a desperation attack right now, which involves some auto-scrolling thingy. This kind of reminds me of the first battle against Robotnik from Sonic and Knuckles in the forest, if you remember. This one is a lot tougher, of course. You have to be avoiding the little eggs, the little bouncing Robotniks, which is not the only type of trap you have to deal in here. We have the giant Robotniks, which are almost unavoidable for me, at least. And there are also spiky balls. But you just need to hit him 2 or 3 times in this section for you to beat him. So it's rather simple. God knows where Sonic took the rocket from. No Tails with a plane. Remember Tails gets featured in episode 2 if you already played it. Well, it was announced like that anyway. Okay, that's all for now. Next time we're gonna do the last zone of the game. See you later.